Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It's the weekend. So welcome to Saturday morning. Our teacher for this week is Hafez. And our meditation on a Saturday morning is always a meditation focused on our physical senses. It's called Come to Your Senses because we bring our attention to whatever experience our physical senses are giving us. So let's see how Hafez's message for us today connects to this meditation. A part of our psyche is naturally deeply invested in the survival of this human body. It could be called the small self, the ego, or perhaps our scared parts, very invested in this body surviving. Honey, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. Welcome to the weekend. Since before you were born, your subconscious has been recording all of the details of everything that you have ever experienced. And more importantly, it's been keeping track of the meaning you have made from all of these experiences. Now, in order to feel like you know how to survive, your body tries to reach for a sense of certainty. Certainty, to this body at least, means I know how to survive. And in an uncertain world, your recording of the past is the closest thing to certainty that you could possibly hold on to. The problem is that to your small self, this recording and the meaning you have made from whatever experiences you've had, to your small self, to your ego, this is understood as truth, because after all, these are the things that actually happened. Your ego only has this recording to rely on, which is why it will dwell there. And with its feet firmly planted in the truth of the past, it looks into the future and predicts more of the same. Is it any wonder that we struggle being present? And even when we place our attention on this present moment, how do we meet it exactly as it is without placing the expectations of our recording on it? So Hafez has a few thoughts that speak to this. He says, what do sad people have in common? He says, it seems they've all built a shrine to the past and often go there and do a strange wail and worship. What is the beginning of happiness? Is to stop being so religious about the past. The beginning of happiness, says Hafez, is to stop being so religious about the past. In slightly different terms, how I started today's message, the beginning of happiness would be to be less religious about our recording of the past, to be less religious about the meaning that we've made from past experience. The next thought from Hafez is, now that all your worry about the future has proved such an unlucrative business, why not find a better job? Be more present. Is that not a better job than worrying about the future, is to be more present? Maggie, a very good morning. Happy Saturday to you. The last thought from Hafez for today is, this place where you are right now, God circled on the map for you. Our beloved has bowed here knowing you were coming. You could go to war with the scared parts of you for always being stuck in the past and future. Or you could remember that this is not the complete story of who you are. There is another part of you, the part of you that existed long before this body was born and will still be long after. Your soul knows the truth about your recording, that these are just the things that happened, and the meaning that your young self made was not always accurate. When we learn to see through the eyes of our soul, then being present becomes our natural state. We all have a recording of the past from which our subconscious gets its information. But you don't have to be trapped by your recording. You can learn how to step out of the recording and see it in context. Today's meditation journey builds the foundation for us to take a step backwards and out of what we're experiencing, so that we can look at the experience and practice seeing it for what it is without the story that our recording tells us. It's a simple exercise that you can learn to do anywhere, anytime, in just a few minutes, and free yourself from being controlled by your own old programming. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll all float away together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Here we go. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and let it go. A deep inhale and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Our journey today is checking in with this body, checking in with the physical senses of this body. And we'll start that journey right now. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead. Bring your attention to the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And when you do, Do you remember to put a smile on your face? The complete opposite of a frown. It's so clear how our body chemistry follows when we put a smile on our face. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth? Or your tongue pressed hard against the roof of your mouth? Or your jaw muscles clenched tightly? And when you find any of those happening, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? To let this body know that it is safe. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you sometimes have tight shoulders? Do you sometimes find that your shoulders are pulled up high, almost level with our ears is how tight our shoulders can sometimes be? And if you find your shoulders tight, do you remember to take a few big breaths and roll out your shoulders? Bring softness to that space. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your stomach area. The place where tension hides more easily than anywhere else. We can carry tension in our stomach area for years without really realizing that we're doing it. When you find a tightness there, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? To let this body know that it is safe. And it would indeed be safe to soften. Lastly, bring your attention to your legs, to your arms, and specifically your hands. That is another place where tension hides under the radar in tightly clenched fists. For now, are your hands half open, lying gently in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help these bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, take a moment to welcome yourself to this body. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. I really love having you." Take your next big breath. Our journey of the senses starts at the top with our eyes and what we can see, and then works its way through our body. This really simply is an exercise in being present, in really being here where your feet are at, catching your attention whenever it wanders anywhere else, and then simply returning your attention again and again to the here and now. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to your eyes, your eyesight, vision. But for this exercise, we're keeping our eyes closed. So what would be an obvious thing for you to see if you were to open your eyes? Find that obvious thing. And now, with your eyes closed, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, use the time to study this obvious thing from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. And whenever your mind wanders anywhere else, catch it and just bring it back again and again. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, still staying with what you can see, but this time, if you were to open your eyes, what would be something not so obvious? Something slightly hidden, something for which you'd need to go, "Oh yes, that thing over there." Bring that closer in your mind, and as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, study this less obvious thing from all of its angles. See all of its color and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. it is quite natural for your mind to wander from whatever the point of focus is. And this is often the battle we find ourselves in daily, because our past and the recording that our subconscious has made from the past, because for our brain, that is kind of the encyclopedia. I mean, your brain is not plugged into the internet. Your brain is not plugged into any other kind of encyclopedia. To your brain, the reference of what is true is the recording of the past. To our bodies, it weighs as truth. And that is why our mind will often be lost in the pages of the past. It's where it finds its sense of meaning from. It's not a bad thing, but of course we understand how we can be stuck there too. This is simply a practice that makes us better at catching our brain wandering around and saying, hey brain, here is where I want you, present in this moment. Let's keep practicing. We'll take a step down from our eyes to our ears. And this time, as you take a deep breath, as you dive deep into you, pay attention to the most obvious sound that you hear. Make it interesting. Listen deep into this obvious sound. Can you find different layers of vibration in this obvious sound? Now, the real invitation here is to become aware of when your mind wanders. That's obviously not the problem. It's not a failure when your mind wanders. It's what minds do. But the invitation is to practice that muscle that recognizes the wandering and brings the mind back. Say, hey brain, here's where I want you to focus. On this obvious sound. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, and this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, listen for a very faint sound. Find something that's barely more than a whisper, and listen deep into this faint sound. How much can you hear there? Take your next big breath. Did your mind wander at all? Did you have to go and retrieve your thoughts from some other event that's not this one right now? Everything we practice, we become better at. And this is such a valuable practice. First, the acceptance that our minds will obviously wander. Then next, the acceptance that this is a repetitive action. Realize the mind is wandering and bring it back to the present moment over and over again. The acceptance that we have to start over from moment to moment. The acceptance that we get to start over every day again. It really comes down to the acceptance that whatever has happened, I'll just try my best again. We'll take another step down in our practice. From your ears to your nose. And for the next 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be. It doesn't have to be a breath hold while you're trying to smell and taste. Also, these are probably a bit more difficult because you might not have anything on hand to bring to your nose or to bring to your mouth. And if you don't, just lean a bit into curiosity. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you're able to find any obvious smell right now. But more than that, catch your mind wandering and return it to the smell again and again. Take your next big breath. We'll change gears, and this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, see if you're able to find any other smell, anything besides the first obvious smell, and still work hard on keeping your thoughts, keeping your mind focused on this sense of smell. Take your next big breath. The only library that your brain has access to is the recording it's made of the past. And more specifically, the meaning that your mind has made from the past events. Is it any wonder that this brain will spend a significant amount of time going through the pages of the past? Biologically, that is the only place we can find a sense of truth. And then, of course, from the meaning we've made of the past, this brain looks into the future and makes predictions based on the past. Which is why so often it predicts more of the same. Some kind of worst case scenario. It doesn't help us to become embroiled in a battle with this mind, trying to force it to be present and being disappointed in ourselves when we're not. However it helps to understand the brain's propensity for being stuck in memory lane. What we're doing right now is simply exercising the muscles that can become stronger and better at returning to the present again and again. Our next stop is your mouth, your taste buds, and this one is probably the hardest of this exercise, unless you have something you can pop into your mouth and taste. Failing that, you need a good imagination. Bring it along. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you can find any obvious taste right now. Take your next big breath. And it will make it even more difficult. We'll change gears, and this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, could you find any other taste? Anything besides the first obvious taste? Take your next big breath. Did you have the opportunity to practice? To practice catching your mind when it wanders and bringing it back. We have one more stop to do, the surface of your skin. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, bring your attention to whatever obvious sensation you can find on the surface of your skin. And see if you can discover different sensations and different pressures in this obvious spot. Take your next big breath. And then just one more time, find on the surface of your skin an area with very slight sensation. Could you perhaps just only feel fabric gently rest on skin? Or could you perhaps feel the air touch your forehead or your cheek? Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. This is a very valuable exercise, as simple as it is. It's so easy once a day, or regularly at least, to sit down, close your eyes, and cycle through your senses. And then have awareness of when your mind wanders. Because asking your brain to focus on anything specific is almost an invitation for your brain to wander. This gives us the opportunity to catch the wandering mind and return it, just a gentle redirect again and again. The science on this is clear. Meditators, people who regularly meditate and regularly practice catching their attention and returning it to the point of focus. The studies show that regular meditators don't get stuck in negative thinking loops as often as anyone else. And it's also clear that for regular meditators, when we get stuck in a negative thinking loop, it's easier to step away from it if you have practice. So regular meditation clearly exercises the muscle that helps us be more present. I'll read to you one more time Hafez's thoughts on the subject. Hafez says, "What do sad people have in common? It seems that all have built a shrine to the past and often go there and do a strange wail and worship." He says, "What is the beginning of happiness? It is to stop being so religious about the past." The next thought from Hafez is, "Now that all your worry about the future has proved such an unlucrative business, why not find a better job? Be more present." The last thought from Hafez is, "This place where you are right now, God circled this place on the map for you. Our beloved has bowed there, knowing that you were coming." Which is simply an invitation to be here. This place that was circled on the map for you. Right here is where you're supposed to be right now. The invitation is to bring your attention to this place where you are right now. Be present and don't try to escape this moment. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to check in with this body and all of its senses. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to practice this muscle. This muscle we could call awareness. That realizes when my thoughts wander off and becomes better at catching them and returning them here and now. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to surrender to the patience. The patience that says, every day I'll start again. The patience that says, I will begin again from moment to moment. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for slipping into this present moment with us. And with us reaching for that patience. It's not always there, but it certainly is there more than it ever was before. The patience to just begin again from moment to moment. Honey, it's great seeing you. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Bridget, it's always good to see you pop in with us. Wishing you a beautiful afternoon, I'm guessing. And Maggie, a happy Saturday morning. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. See you all again soon. Ciao, ciao.